Do 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 do. Do. Right. Get in there. Come on. That's it. Nice one. We're alive. All right. Charge up the old phone. Hello, people. All right, I'll get a drink and I'll be back very shortly. Oh. Howdy. Howdy, howdy. All right, just setting things up. Gorilla. Right, Fred. What are you doing, Fred? Astro, what are you doing? Yo. Bit unprepared at the moment. Sorting a few things out. This thing's a bit late. All right, let's bring this down. Hello. How you doing? Howdy, howdy. I spent some money this week. Went into HMV and spent over 100 quid on vinyl. Also went into my local second-hand record shop and spent around, what was it? Maybe 40 quid. So I probably spent around 200 quid, near 200 quid on vinyl in 1 week. It's a lot of money, isn't it? It's a lot of money. But birthday's coming up. So a lot of that was a joint kind of birthday and Christmas present. I'm still buying more records as it is. Got a few more coming in. Oh, 45 bin. I did buy a single. Tom Petty one. I'll show you a few things. I'll show you a few bits. Picked up 2 7-inch singles in the second-hand record shop. Charlatans, one to another. I think it's just a standard, black vinyl, standard black vinyl. And who remembers the Presidents of the United States of America? Who remembers that band? Had a few singles which came into the UK. Peaches was one of them, and saw this in the 7-inch singles bin. I thought, get that. I like that. It's picture disc. So yeah, good single. Another good one of theirs is Lump. I always like Lump. Yeah, I'm trying to think when this was. 96. Back then you could get them for like 99p. Look. So yeah, 2 7-inch singles and a 12-inch single. Tom Petty, Learning to Fly. Not bad, eh? Wanted 16 quid for it. Oh, it's a little bit much. It gave me 10% discount on everything and knocked a few quid off. So, knocked it down a bit. So yeah, Learn to Fly. I think it was 1991. Yeah. Side 2's got American Girl on it. Yeah, 16 ain't bad. Didn't quite pay 16. I paid a little bit less than that, but still. I don't have much on Tom Petty on 12-inch single. Yeah, it's around about 14, around about that. So, yeah. Records. Near mint. So, yeah. If I come across anything Tom Petty and I haven't got it, I'll snap it up quite happily. Put that away. But yeah, there's a few bits there just to show you. I've got a lot of other new records to show, but I'm going to save those for another video. Don't want to show too much, do we? I'm all warm now. Just come out of the shower. It's probably not helping wearing such a thick jacket. Any news? Anything to report? Any gossip? What's the latest? Ian's late. Yeah. Ian's a bit late. I know he's a bit busy at the moment. Carry that. What I've been up to, what am I listening to at the moment? I'll probably listen to about, I don't know, 20, 30 odd albums probably in the last week. Of just mostly 70s, actually. Mostly 70s stuff. Apart from that, not a lot really. Just sort of taking it easy. What about yourself? Been listening to a lot of jazz actually, as well as other stuff. Bit of Simon and Garfunkel, AC/DC. You're listening to the Moody Blues, have you, Richard? What albums? What ones? Random stuff. Yeah. I'm a bit random at the moment. Can never get into jazz. I was listening to some rock jazz that was quite good by a local school band in America from the 70s. I'll see if I can find it. I'll leave you the name. They were quite good. Okay. All of them, from the second to the last. Yeah. What's that Oracle one? Can't think what it's called. Don't have too much on the Moody Blues. I did have a few records, but I think I got rid of them. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of jazz, various artists. I'm recording a lot to my computer at the moment, and so what I'm listening to is just stuff I'm recording, you know. Let's turn that slightly. My camera's not looking too good, is it? Oh, that's any better. Is that any better? I don't know. I'll turn the lights off. Double album private pressing vinyl. I've got my DBX encoder set up, so I've been listening to virtually all my records on DBX, which are mainly jazz. I do have quite a few actually. This one, Tip of Weisberg, Tim Weisberg on DBX, encoded disc. These do sound really nice. The drum sessions, Paul Humphrey, Shelly Main. The Art Van Dam Quartet featuring Joe Pass. So they're kind of like late 70s, early 80s albums. George Shearing, On a Clear Day. Show you what it's a little bit more about. These are quite special records, really. So DBX encoded disc. So the DBX encoded disc. DBX encoded disc employs a unique encoding-decoding process that virtually eliminates record surface noise while dramatically increasing the dynamic range of the recording. The DBX disc is approximately 30 decibels quieter than a conventional record. Also, the dynamic range of music on DBX encoded disc is equal to that experienced during the recording session, which represents a significant advantage over conventional records that have limited dynamic range. Now with DBX encoded discs, we can for the very first time enjoy the full dynamic range and presence of music against the background of pure silence. Bear in mind this was like the late 70s. The sound of the DBX encoded discs would generally be indistinguishable from that of a master tape or direct audio signal from which the record is made. Any noise that is present on the master tape will remain on these recordings since they are not affected by the DBX encoded decode process, hence the better master tape from a noise point of view. The better the ultimate sound quality of the record. My voice is going here. The audible benefits potentially available from recent and future improvements in sound recording, e.g. direct-to-disc and digital recording techniques, will be realized to their fullest extent only if this distraction of annoying record surface noise is eliminated. DBX encoded discs accomplish this objective. So from a master tape, I believe they are like something like in the 100 decibel range. And then when it gets compressed to a record, it goes down to about, I think it's around about the 40 decibel range. So what this does, it brings that back up to the 100 decibel range where it was originally taken from. These do sound a lot louder and so much quieter on the quieter passages. They sound good. They sound like nothing you probably ever heard before, unless you got a reel-to-reel or something like that. They're not perfect. They do have their flaws, but generally they sound pretty amazing. They're basically saying buy a CD. Well, that was probably out before a CD came out. Yeah, the DBX recorded vinyl is the same decibel and CD 120 decibel dynamic range. Yeah. My channel has lots of obscure stuff, says Ian. Simon, you have been voted on the Battle Royale over at RTO ranking. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm talking about music. I'll check out your ranking. Yeah, I've got a decoder. Yeah, I've got a decoder. It's even got a UK plug on it. I suppose you can see it. It's sat just on the record The record player sat on top of it, as you can see. DVX is not digitally compressed, it's analog signal. Evening. Evening, Zip. I believe it's analog, yeah. Because I think they were specifically taken from the master tapes. Only certain records were picked. They didn't necessarily go for the stuff bands would do, because they don't tend to go. You don't tend to need that 100 decibel range for like ordinary music. Classical, jazz, stuff like that, you know, yes, but like, you know, other things, you know, bands such as the bands at the time, which would have been like the Police or whoever. Although the Police did get a DVX, a couple of DVX encoded discs done, that cost an absolute fortune to buy. Apart from that one off, they didn't bother with a lot of the bands. But yeah, there you go. How much was the decoder? I paid, I think it was probably about £100, and that was a few years ago. I mean, what sold it for me is when I saw it had a UK plug on the end of it. So I didn't need to downscale it with a transformer. So you know, that was good. It was worth paying a bit extra. For that alone. How many records have I found with DVX? I've got a load here. I've been snapping them up over the years. Let's have a quick count. Right, this is my complete DVX collection, although I do have about 3 more in the post, which are on eBay selling for like £2.50, and I snapped them up. I thought, oh yeah, definitely taking those for that price. But yeah, just see what I got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I will have 25 of these very shortly. Showing that one, didn't I? OA4 Zaka. Showing that George Shearing. Showing that one, didn't I? That one. Oscar Peterson action. This was sealed when I brought it, and I unsealed it, so it's probably not worth as much anymore. But I really wanted this. I think it was the first one I brought, and I really wanted to hear it. You know, Herb Alpert, Rise on DBX. We've got the Three, Joe Sample, Ray Brown, Shelly Main, the Three, Inner City. Pieces of Eight. Don't seem to find these kind of more modern music ones, you know. It mainly is jazz. Gerald Wilson, Orchestra of the 80s. This one, probably recognize that one. Don Menza and his 80s big band, Burning. Another LA4, the live album. Yeah, that's right. Intercontinental, Joe Pass. If you can't play them normal, no, they will sound all kind of, they wouldn't sound right on a normal record player. You need an encoder. Bob Clarence, big band. A lot of people don't know what these are, you know. Full Sail, you'll probably recognize that one. Some of them are actually pressed on the super disc, so you kind of get a mixture of super disc and the DBX combination. Virtuoso Harp by Susan MacDonald. We've got Jack Sheldon, Playing It Straight. Vivaldi, Four Seasons. Classical. Got Charlie Bird. Robert Conti, Jazz Quartet. And finally, the Dave Brubeck Quartet, Tritonus, I think it is. So, yeah, there you go. That's everything. That's everything on DBX. Just been gradually picking them up. When I find them, when they're reasonably priced. So yeah, I put all those onto my computer. Get an invite out. If anyone wants to jump on. Hmm. They're quite heavy, these records. I don't know why. Very heavy. I think the sleeves are quite thick on these, because they've got a load of information in there as well. And the vinyl is quite thick. They do weigh a bit. Oh yeah, put those away. The kids were playing my Nintendo earlier. Didn't put the controllers away. Can you get American copies of DVX from Germany? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they've done them all around the world. So yeah, I would have thought you can. Yeah. You get the records quite easily. There you go, Ian. You got a subscriber. Oh, there you are.
I'm here. Yeah, thank you, Hoobs.
You right?
I'm good, yeah.
Yeah.
There's plenty there for you, Hoobs. I've got bands like Spider, Bow Wow, Beyond Twilight, stuff that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
And stuff that Zeb's gave me that I've never heard of.
They don't call you obscure for nothing, do they?
No.
No.
Not at all. Yeah, I've been rather busy today. I've been doing creating some more new thumbnails.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For future videos, no doubt.
Well, for next year, more for next year. So they are those
year.
that you watch my channel. Yes, the thumbnails are changing. They change every year. Yeah, as Charles says, I rank anything except Coldplay, Adele. So never ask because you won't get.
All the stuff you have done, I mean, you're still catching up with an ever-growing list of groups and bands. And
I know. The list is never ending.
I know. But it's music, isn't it? It's so vast, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Put it this way, I don't think I'll ever run out.
No. You'll never catch up with it. There'll always be something, won't there?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, what am I'm listening? I mean, at the moment, I'm listening to a band called Stray. I'm listening to stuff for like Future Stories and the live stuff as well. It's all go. But I've actually today at 3 o'clock, I decided that's it. I'm not listening to no more stuff for ranking. It's my time.
Yeah.
So I had a bit of a Jerry Rafferty afternoon.
Did you? I played Night Owl this week.
Oh, I've had on City to City, Night Owl, and Snakes and Ladders.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's quite a bit of 70s. So
Yeah, they have very good albums.
they are. Yeah, they are.
And his artwork's always good.
They're easy on the ear, aren't they?
Yeah, Jerry Rafferty is got a very soothing voice as well.
He has.
I mean, I love the song Night Owl.
How's Rocky?
He's all right. He was very quiet last night, wasn't he?
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't afterwards though.
No.
You know what I mean? By the time we'd finished chopsing, and no, it was a good session last night afterwards, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yes. Future projects and that. So by the time I got set, he didn't. He didn't settle till about 2 o'clock.
All right.
He was up and down.
Quite late then. I wrote a bit of a script for what we talked about.
Yeah.
Just trying to find it. Where is it? I'll send it to you. Oh, where is it? There it is. Can I post it through this StreamYard?
In a private chat, yeah.
Private chat.
Yeah.
I'll do that then. There it is.
Let's open it.
No, it won't let me.
Oh, just like you have to send it by WhatsApp then.
Yeah. Oh well.
I shall enjoy looking at that. Yeah, I know. I've done the other the Amuse songs today as well.
Oh yeah.
It's quite simple, really. I just sat and wrote them on a bit of paper.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't have done that. I would have to. I'd have to look at the albums. I'd know what albums to look at.
Yeah, first three.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What's happened? Just reading something. No, nothing yet. Yeah, so yeah. And I'm going to see 10cc tomorrow night. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, at our local theatre.
Yeah, I gave one of their albums a listen this week as well.
Which one did you listen to?
1 sec. Dig it out. Listened to so much. I must have listened to about 30 odd albums. Hang on, Michael, I'll be there in a sec.
Yeah, Hoobs, yeah, love Jerry Rafferty. I've been listening to Jerry Rafferty. Cool. Practically all my from about when he was in Steelers Wheel. Very popular in our house was Jerry Rafferty. I will be ranking the Jerry Rafferty albums at some stage.
Bloody Tourists.
Bloody Tourists.
That's
the one that's got Dreadlock Holiday on it.
That's it, first track. You all right, Michael?
Hello.
Pretty good, actually. I enjoyed that. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
So you're excited about your concert, Ian?
I am.
Yeah. How big
I've
a
never
theater is
seen
it?
them. I've never seen 10cc, so it's it's always exciting when you see I know it's not the original band, but
Of course. Yeah.
But Rick Fenton playing guitars, who plays on Bloody Tourists, and of course Graham Goldman's on it in it as well. So, and apparently the drummer who's with the band actually has played. He did the percussion on some of them early albums, so he's been part of the 10cc family.
Right. Is it sold out? Is it a big theater?
Oh, yeah, it's sold out. It's not a huge venue. It's like a very small theatre, but it's
Great.
sold out. To the fact that I'm going with my mate Lee, and he's sitting. We're not even sitting together. We've got two singles that he's been one like that. But what we got to do tomorrow is get there a bit early to see if any, because obviously people don't turn up, and if there's two together, well, they'll put us together. But I think there was some on the back row, right at the back, which you wouldn't see much, but we're near the front. So yeah.
Okay, you're on the floor or in a balcony?
I think we're on the floor.
Good.
Yeah. Just wondering what they'll open up with. You know when you've ever say, what will they open up with?
Sure. Yeah. Well, don't look up the set list because that's tempting to do. You know you can basically do that, right?
Yeah,
Set
but I
list,
never do. I never ever look at set. I just it's just that thrill, isn't it, of what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
It's like when we went to see the T-Rex tribute band. T-Rex is a guy in Britain does T-Rex, and you think what they're going to open up with, and they opened up with Raw Ramp. The side B of Get It On. No one expected that.
Yeah. Tribute bands really don't fly with me, Ian. I just they had that the Musical Box. Have they ever come through your area? I think they're from Canada. They were a Genesis tribute band, and I know they do everything note for note, and they have all of the approval from Genesis. But the singer just is kind of like odd looking, and so it kind of takes it out of it for me.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I wouldn't, T-Rex. You can't really go and see T-Rex because he's not with us. But that's the nearest you're going to get. Yeah.
Albums I've been listening to this week. Bloody Taurus, as I said.
Oh, very nice.
Listen to this morning. AC/DC. If You Want Blood.
Oh, that is that should have been a double album.
Good live album, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell you what, I was impressed with this Pat Benatar album.
Interesting.
Yeah,
strong record. Yeah,
In the Heart of the Night.
Is that
You've never heard it before?
Is it a debut or a second album?
I don't know. I imagine it's an early album. 79. So I don't know if it's a debut. But yeah, solid album.
I think every song is a hit on that record.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It was good. Sutherland Brothers and Oliver, Reach for the Sky.
Yeah, who can I just say? Yeah, Hoobs, I did see your comment. No, I've got no other channel.
I don't know who they are, Simon. Are they
No.
British?
I don't know. I've never heard of them. I think they might be American.
Yeah, because you say quiver, I say quiver.
Right. Ian would know this. Derek and Clive live.
Yeah,
Okay, no, listen.
this bloke came up to me and said, "You." He called
Yeah.
you up.
That's
No, he
it.
called me a cat.
And I got the second volume as well.
Oh, they're comedians.
It's Dudley Moore and Peter Cook.
Yeah.
Very rude.
Oh.
Very rude. Yeah, very, very rude.
The cover looks like a bootleg.
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
the other cover that you showed, the
Yeah.
sleeves. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's got the warning on there. Look.
Yeah, lots of the C word is used on that album.
Really?
It's so funny. The voices they do and the accents they nail down is really good. Anyway, bit of Simon and Garfunkel, Wednesday morning, 3 a.m. Very nice sounding record this was.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an excellent album.
Tell you
I
what.
had Bridge Over Troubled Water on today.
Yeah.
Instead of putting it away from yesterday, I just put it on the turntable.
This is an underrated, in my opinion, an underrated Beach Boys album. Later on in their kind of lifespan, I suppose. And that's LA Lighthouse.
Huh.
Pretty good. Pretty good Beach
Yeah.
Boys album. 79, I think it was.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's just nice songs on it. Full Sail, Sumahama, that was a hit, wasn't it? Here Comes the Night. I was never really a fan of Here Comes the Night, but this version is like the full extended version, and it flows a lot nicer than what I've heard before. I'm not sure about the other hits on here. I'm not sure about Come Home was a hit or Baby Blue, but just nice deep cut songs.
This is are they doing? It's all written by the Beach Boys, because you're naming songs that are names of songs by other bands, like Here Comes the Night and Baby Blue. So are there covers there?
Here Comes the Night was a hit of the Beach Boys.
Okay.
I don't know about Baby Blue. For as I know, they were written by the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
But
that's really late.
It is late. This is 79, but they kind of had a bit of a resurgence in the 80s, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of after this album that happened. But for later on in their careers, it's not a bad album at all. What else do we have? Bread, Baby I Want You.
Oh, brilliant album.
The album.
I love Bread.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Well, this Glenn Campbell compilation sounds good. Sounds really good. I know some of these kind of like comps look a bit kind of old hat and a bit cheesy.
Yeah.
But the sound quality is excellent. It's on the Capitol label. Really nice sounding record.
So these are all from the charity shop, I take it. Every single one you just showed?
This was a charity find of some years ago.
Okay.
And some are more recent.
Okay, so this is just stuff that you pulled out that you've been listening to, not that you bought this week.
Yeah, this is stuff I've been listening to this week.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Gave it a spin. And Jerry Rafferty, of course, Night Owl.
Spoke about. Fantastic album. Yeah, just Astro Zombie saying about Glenn, one of the top 5 guitar. He is brilliant guitar player, Glenn Campbell.
He's got my favourite song probably ever written on here, and that's Wichita Lineman.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It's a terrific song. So yeah. Anyway, myself. Small.
Yeah, I was watching some Glenn Campbell on YouTube, and watching his guitar playing, it was just magnificent, absolutely magnificent.
Mm.
He didn't get the credit for being one of the best guitar players that ever lived.
He did not.
No.
Everyone goes to the Jimmy Pages and the Richie Blackmores, but there is that Glenn Campbell. He never gets the Trogs.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
He was on American TV a lot when I was growing up, on all the variety shows.
Yeah, he was over here as well.
Yeah. But timing was bad because he had to compete with all the rock artists.
Yeah, he did that duo with Bobby Gentry, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Version of All I Do It. That's brilliant. That is. It's a really good version of that song. But my nan was into Glenn Campbell, so
really
I listened to a lot of Glenn Campbell growing up. So it was part of my growing up, Glenn Campbell. So, and I have got a compilation album of his. So it's not, because it just reminds me so much of my nan. Huge.
Now the topics come up. I feel that you're going to have to rank him. Have you ranked him yet?
No, he needs.
Give that a listen as well.
Yeah, another of my nan's favourites.
Yeah. And
I love Ami's song. I think it's one of my favourite sort of
Volume
songs.
2. I didn't know there was a Volume 2, but there you go.
Is that Rocky?
Yeah, that is Rocky. There you go.
There you go.
Going to say hello to the world again.
Yes, yes.
Oh dear. Oh
So he farted on you?
no, he does that. He's just wanting some. He just wants a bit of fuss.
Yes, a bit of attention.
Yeah, he was still. After last night, I've never heard. He was still mumbling at 2 o'clock our time in the morning.
While he was sleeping?
No, he was wanting to play.
Well, they're forever puppies.
Yeah, 14, and he still wants. He likes to have a play of hunting. He's got this habit. He's got these little treats. These little when you're training dogs, you give them a little snack.
Right.
I've got them for him because you have to hide them, and he has to find them.
How's his joints, Ian? Does he does he have soreness? Is he arthritic?
It's a little bit. He has a little bit of arthritis, but he's on food that.
Right.
We have a company over here called Butchers, and what you do, you put what your dog's ailments in, and it advises which dog food. So he has the one for joints.
Right.
And,
that's good.
Yeah, and I get it direct from. So it's on a monthly order, and it just turns up. And plus, he likes his carrot. He has carrots. His teeth. He likes a carrot a day. He likes peas. Frozen peas. He likes fruit and all the things. There's a whole list of things he likes. Isn't there?
Yep.
Are you happy now?
I'm sure he's happy. He's got the comfort of his owner.
What?
Of his caretaker.
Oh.
I'm a dog person.
Yeah. He sits like this for hours when we're watching telly.
I believe it.
He has to be with me wherever I am.
Yeah.
He's even got under my computer desk. He's even got his own bed under here. So when I'm recording, that's where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You want to get down now you've had some fuss? No. Yes, he's still. I'm sure I've told you this, but when I put on Pink Floyd's Medal, he hates Seamus.
He what? He hates Seamus?
Yeah, because
So what's he do?
He's like that, and he starts barking because it's the whiny dog he hates.
Yeah, they have sensitive hearing.
Yeah, when I had Marley, she used to stand in front of the record deck barking, or on the CD player barking at it.
And Marley was a dachshund also?
No, she was a cross between Poodle and a Bichon.
Oh. Well,
Yeah.
that's basically a
Yeah,
you couldn't tell the
fluffy.
difference, right? You couldn't tell the difference.
Very fluffy dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a lovely dog, but she were very poorly. He missed her dreadfully when she passed away.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
He got depressed, very depressed.
Yep, they know.
And we've still got her bed that's in my lounge. And you want to get down now? There you are, then. And it's got two other, and in the other bed, he's got two other toys that I've not washed. And even now, when he snuggles up to them, he's not forgotten. You say a name, he knows who we're talking about.
Yeah.
What? Oh, he's going to be in one of that. Last night it was good, but tonight he's going to be in one of them moods, I think.
Well, he knows you're on a live stream.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know about Dave.
No. Come on then. What do you want?
He loves that dog, doesn't he?
He sure does. He sure does. You don't have dogs, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Take it you don't now, or do you?
What's that? I did.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the building that we bought into doesn't allow dogs. So we just have to enjoy other people's dogs for a while.
Yeah. My brother's got a dog. He's got a pug. It's very cute.
They're cute. Not my favorite dogs.
No.
Yeah.
Good around kids though, aren't they? They're very friendly.
Yes.
So
yeah.
He
Dogs are the new children in Japan.
Bugs.
He hates bugs.
Rocky hates bugs. Yeah.
When he was younger, he really, and he used to like chasing squirrels.
It's funny how dogs are really selective about other breeds that they like or dislike.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
It's when he comes up against long-haired dachshunds just like him. He was so funny. They both look. Used to confuse Marley. She was like, then she had to go up, and when she got sniffed Rocky, she knew which one
was which.
Yeah, she was. When we used to go out over the park, because I used to run around together, and she would go and goad bigger dogs, and they'd come running. Then she'd run off, and Rocky, of course, she did it on purpose. She just
they were tag team. Yeah. They were in
Oh,
cahoots.
then you can chase them off.
Yeah.
She was a
Unbelievable.
devil at that.
Mm-hmm. It's how they play.
Yeah. I remember I'd gone out and I'd been shopping and I put some of the treats on the table, thinking, I won't get them.
We losing viewers in droves, Simon, with all this dog talk. How we doing here? Our audience.
It fluctuates, goes up and down.
Yeah, basically, I don't know which one of them got the chews off the table, but they got the chews off the table. Anyway, that's the last I'm going to talk about.
Jimmy's got nothing to work with.
It's very nice beer tonight. Yes, I was saying to Simon, I've been working on new thumbnails today. So,
okay, you're all finished with the Todd Rundgren ranking, right? That's in the can.
It's in the can. We've got part 2 to do the good stuff.
Okay,
the 70s stuff, which I think is pretty good.
It is. I think we'll have some compliments there. I think we'll have some positive exploration.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. Messages coming through. That's I can deal with that. I can deal with that tomorrow. Right. Let's go back to that.
Any viewer requests for ranking that you flat out refused?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yep. Everyone knows how much I you might be hang on, read Zeb, sorry. The big question here, will Ian enjoy a treatise on cosmic fire from Initiation? You will find out.
He really loves the that early Utopia stuff.
Yes.
Did you get your spanner back, Zeb?
He had his wrench taken away?
Yet again, yeah. The 10th time.
Let me ask you something. Why is having a wrench so important to people? I never understood this. You can still chat. Is it a status thing?
I think it is.
Well, I suppose once everyone's got a wrench, you kind of need one, don't you?
It's like being a made man in the mafia.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So no Rob tonight? Mr. Walker hasn't entered the gallery?
No. Turned up, no.
Must be busy at work.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he'll show up later.
Yes.
We'll see. Listen to any music today then, Michael?
Well, it's quite early. I just woke up a little while ago, so the answer is no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What did I listen to yesterday? What's her name? Shit, let me go get it. I listened to a bit of Alberta Hunter yesterday, who I discovered here. She's no longer with us. She was discovered by John Hammond. Where is it? That's John Hammond. He pulled her out of retirement, and she was a New York jazz singer. I think in the 20s or the 30s, and then she went to Europe, and she became a nurse, like for decades. And then her final years, she went to Columbia, and she recorded records with John Hammond. She's got around 3 or 4. I've got 2, and an acquired taste. She doesn't. She doesn't belt them out, but
quite elderly in those pictures, isn't she?
she did take a nice picture. Yeah,
She's
she
quite
was
elderly.
gorgeous. Huh?
She's quite elderly.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
That's all I grabbed. And I'm editing. I'm editing a lot of footage. I on Wednesday I went to had lunch with a friend of mine, a New Yorker who was coming back from New York. He moved to Malaysia, but before he moved to Malaysia, he lived in Tokyo for like 20 years, and married to a Japanese woman. And he started a hamburger restaurant in Tokyo called Martini Burger, and there were no good hamburgers in Japan until he was the first to start a really good New York style hamburger place. Now there's hamburger places all over Tokyo, and they take things to the nth degree. They have hamburgers here with 6 or 7 patties piled up. I mean, you can't even bite into it. It's so huge. But he started Martini Burger. So he was visiting his mother in town, and we walked along this area called it's called Kagurazaka, and he took me to a record store that's kind of out of business in the basement of a building, and the place looks like it's out of the Victorian age, curtains and old antiques, just wild. And this guy the owner is 70 years old. He's been running this place for decades. And his building is about to be torn down, and he's trying to raise money to find a new home. But he's not really a record store anymore. He's more of he has bands playing there. It's really funny about Japan. It's like businesses morph. Does that happen in the UK? Like the family owns the building, and they were a drugstore, and now they're a coffee shop, but it's still the same family that owns them, and then the kid takes
don't get
over.
that so much now over here. You never get those kind of family-owned shops that don't seem to exist so much these days.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
It's
Yeah,
like big companies now, to take over everywhere.
Yeah, formula retail. Well, yeah, here too. I mean, anytime there's new construction here, it's all formula retail. It's always, if there's a new mall, it's always the same group of stores. Starbucks and Tully's, and and Gap. Always, it just sucks the life out of a neighborhood.
Yeah, they do. When we've got a equivalent over here, but yeah, it's nice to see those kind of shops which have been sort of passed down through the ages almost,
Yeah.
But no, you don't seem to see them so much now.
It's only when the family has control of the property. If they don't have control of the property, if they don't have ownership of the property, they have no power.
Exactly. I mean, paying rent in the high street is just astronomical in the UK.
Yeah.
Unless you're a big corporation, you ain't going to be able to afford it. Unless of course, like you said, you own it. So
yeah.
Yeah, we had a record shop here in Northampton called John Lever. Now, John Lever had been in the same place for many years. I mean, the guy that had it, it was handed down to 3 generations, and then after the last generation, they just sold it up. When records went out of fashion, they just sold up. But what is nice, the building that it was there, someone bought it outright, and guess what? It's a record shop.
No kidding.
It sells he's got new stuff, and down in the back part, he's got second-hand stuff. I brought this.
Ah, all right. There you go, John Baez.
The first 10 years. It's a great compilation album, double album. I picked this up for £6.
Yeah.
It's got some great tracks on here. We got things like Ghetto, Silver Daggers on here. There, But for Fortune, John Riley's on here, Carrying It On, If I Knew. with God on Our Sides on here, Theodore, which I love, Sweet, Sir Galahad, Turquoise is on here, and London Old Welsh Song. Beautiful album of those first albums.
She was married to that fellow in the upper right of the jacket, David. I remember she was married to a fellow named David. I think he was a conscientious objector during the Vietnam days. They were in the news a lot, I remember, but I can't remember the background. I don't think she's married to him anymore.
No. There's a lovely story regarding Rob Halford from Judas Priest, because they did Judas Priest did a cover of her Diamonds and Rust.
Okay.
And he says this is in his autobiography. He was at a concert somewhere, and he was walking toward, and he could see Joan Byhouse coming towards him.
Yeah.
And she clocked him. And he went, "Oh God, what's going on?" I said, "Oh God, this could be scary." And she went, "Lovely to meet you, Rob, and I love what you did to my song."
There you go. Of course, she was flattered. She was flattered
that a heavy metal band had done a. It's a bit more raunchy, but what I like about their version of it, it is heavy, but it's done tastefully,
right,
to the original. If you can do that, Diamonds and
you
Rust
can do that.
Yes, and he always said that, that even if the lady who wrote it thinks it's good, it must be good.
Well, she got the royalties.
Yeah, she would have got the royalties. And they play it. They've started playing it again on this anniversary tour. Yes, she seems a nice lady.
There's a record shop in my hometown. He owns two businesses, literally are next to each other. One of them is like his bread and butter, and the other one's just he runs it as a hobby. He doesn't put any of the records online, so none of them go like the likes of Discogs or eBay. So what he sells is just literally from the shop, and I would barely say he probably makes a profit out of it. He just does it as a hobby,
yeah.
But you don't seem to see many places do that. They'll kind of have to make a profit and make a living out of it, don't they? But he's just quite happy to sit back and just see what comes in, take a few records home or whatever, and sell whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Very sort of easy come, easy go.
Yeah, I mean, stores like that here, cash only. The guy has no email address, zero web presence, zero. He prints out his price list on white paper, his new arrivals. So if you want to know anything about that store, you have to go there. Yeah, and he's got great gems, and he'll never change.
No,
yeah, it's like that. This one in Northampton. How many record stores do you go in and you get offered a cup of coffee?
Zero.
Yeah,
Although I got offered a beer yesterday in a record store.
Yeah, he'll sit down and you can chat with him. He'll make you a cup of coffee and he'll go through what he'll show. He's always got a pile of stuff that's come in, and you talk about, oh yeah, that's pretty good. And the other guy, the one down in Gold Street, he's another guy. He will sit and talk to you about music, and he'll put stuff on. Well, have you heard this yet?
Right. And if you go into the big stores and you ask about something, you get one of two responses. If you don't see it on the shelf, we don't have it. Right? Or no. Not like, what are you interested in? Maybe I can sell you something else. Zero interaction with the customer. So
it's like
well, a lot of them don't really know a lot about music, do they? Like if you went into HMV, the staff aren't likely to know much about music. They might know some artists, but minimal.
Yeah, it's like my mate. He worked in retail, and he got his the best job in the world, he said, and that he worked in a specialist record shop in Northampton, and he said it was a dream come true. He said because everybody in that shop had a passion for music, and they had enough people to cover all bases. You see, he was into rock music, but he was a very big fan of Frank Zappa. So he became the Frank Zappa man, and he would be responsible for going through what to order. Well, yeah, what do you think's going to sell in Frank Zappa? He said, well, that first thing he saw was Hot Rats. He says that will sell, and that keeps selling. So yeah, it was. But yeah, I like it when you go there. I mean, when in John Lever, I would walk up to the counter, and whoever was going to serve me got the big red book out, which is the one with all the catalogue numbers. Back in the day, before computers, you used to have the book. What do you want?
They're all over Japan, all over. I mean, they printed books here of catalogs and magazines. You know, there's so much printed material here about records. You know, before it went computerized.
Yeah, and it got to the stage in there that there was a group of us. We had our own little order book,
and
it would just said Ian and Friends on. Because we used to order so much stuff. But that's what I mean, that's what you missed. You could go in and say, can you get me this? Of course
yes.
I can.
Yeah.
That's how I got my Made in Japan. I says I saw it, so I says I want Made in Japan by Iron Maiden, no problem. Might take a little while. Did in them days as well. But that's what it was all about. There's none of that now, is it?
Just depends on the buyer. And a buddy of mine here, he's constantly has things on order at Disc Union, constantly. I mean, he could barely afford to buy half the stuff that he buys. And he ends up just going to one store and buying it there. He has no desire to go out to other stores, no desire to explore. It's just different. You know, it's different for each person, how they build their collection, what their buying techniques are. You know, other people just are always buying online or buying used at, you know, used charity shops, what have you.
I mean, back in the 80s, we had 6 specialist record stores, not like HMV and
big box. Yeah.
We had independent record stores that we would go around every Saturday afternoon, one after each other, looking what they got. And what the thing is, all 6 of them used to communicate, network, because you know they all use different suppliers, and if you couldn't get anything, you'd say, "Well, go and see so and so at what's it? He may be able to get you that." Right. And they would, and that's what there was none of that now, is it? But there's that they would have their own businesses, but they would send people on if they couldn't help you out.
They all seem to be competing with each other these days, don't they? They don't like to recommend you go over to the next one, do they?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't dream of it, would they? No,
wouldn't now. It's very sort
of go and see John at Spinner Disc. I'm sure he'll have it. He does get some weird shit. He said, even I go there to buy stuff. So, you know. And that's nice. And I remember once, you know, on a Friday night, you'd see them, you see the 2 owners having a beer.
2 owners of competing stores?
Having a beer.
That's nice. So no more specialty stores?
We got 2.
So you're 2 down from 6?
Yeah, 2.
And what are their specialties of the remaining 2? What's one?
The one that's called Spinning Records, where John Lever was, he does a lot of heavy metal, heavy rock, and he does all the memorabilia and the studded belts, and it's a very popular shop with the younger generation.
No, Richard.
No, I haven't,
no
Richard.
desire. I'm
No.
not really good with the public.
My mate has, and he was, he loved that job. He used to say, going to work and having your hobby as your work is pretty good.
Yes. Well, I just love the visuals in record stores. All the old posters and just all the crap. I just love it. Just anything about it. Antique records and what have you. I mean, there's so much history in those stores.
Yeah, I mean, the other one, he's all secondhand, but he does specialize in 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's sort of my dad's era. He's quite old now. I mean, he used to play in bands with my dad, so he's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
This guy, but his knowledge and some of the stuff he's got. But because it's quite rare stuff, it is a bit pricey, but there's a reason. Yeah, I mean, it's like I brought that Seekers album, Come Today, this week. It's in immaculate condition for a record that's 1 year older than me, so it's 59 years old. Someone looked after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
probably was listened to a handful of times and put away most of its life.
Yeah, it seems like that.
Yeah.
As I said last night, it's heavy as well. It's one of them heavy albums.
They were back in the sort of that time, weren't they? They had thicker vinyl, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I've got 2 or 3 like that. I've got the Sputniks. That's quite a heavy record.
Yeah.
And Joe Brown's Picture of You, the album. That's quite, and they're all mono.
50s, 60s, tend to be sort of thick vinyl, aren't they?
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of sort of flexibility. Some of them are very kind of rigid, aren't they? And
Yes. Then you get a K-Tel one, and you have to blow in the wind, and it bends.
Yeah.
Do they let you Did they let you try the records out before you buy it? A lot of these specialty stores, they have a turntable up at the front, or
not so much. But this place when I brought that, I says, "Can I just can you just put it on to see if it's okay?" I said, "I know you've graded it," but he said, "No, of course you can. Of course you can." He says, and he says, "Yeah," and he put it on. He went, "God, this is good, isn't it?" So he says, "How come someone like you likes Joan Baez?" I says, "Well, it all goes back to Diamonds and Rust. And when I found out that it was a cover, I wanted to know who done the original. So I had to go to the library and search, and I found thing. And then I went to the music where you could get the discs, and there was a disc in there. So I took it home and I played it, recorded it, and put it on a cassette. And that was my introduction to Joan Baez, and that's where it's all started. And I mean, I love that early stuff. That like that album. That's why I've got it. I much prefer the early stuff. So it's amazing where you pick up on stuff, because there wasn't such thing as internet. We had to, didn't we? We had to go and physically look it up.
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of times it was blind buying, because you had to either you heard it on the radio, or a friend of yours had it, or you just had to take the risk, because the record store certainly wasn't going to take it out of the shrink wrap and play it for you.
No, you had to just go for it.
You had to go for it. Yeah, yeah.
The times I brought albums on the covers. I mean, Asia was one of them albums that I brought because I liked the cover.
You picked a good one.
Yeah, it's a bloody good one. And then Chase the Dragon Magnum. Oh, that's a nice cover. Took it home, put it on the turntable. Thought, yeah, we'll have a bit of that.
Whereabouts are you from then, Ian Hobbs?
I'm in Northamptonshire, which is smack bang in the middle of the country. We are 60 odd miles south of Birmingham and about 60 something north of London.
But you have goods and services within walking distance of your home, right? Like markets, or no, or you have to drive to get to them.
We have to going to town. That's where
Okay.
they are.
Yeah.
There is there's a little place my mate go for. It's a coffee shop and there's all sorts of bric-a-brac. I suppose it's what you would call a thrift store. Sells everything.
What do they call it? Not a thrift store. It had another name for it. So you can get basics there, right?
Yeah, this place, Vintage Retreat, it's got records, it's got bric-a-brac, it's got vintage toys, it's not an antique shop, but you can pick up absolutely anything, and it's got a really nice cafe. They do lovely coffee and homemade cake. So you can buy your records, go and have a cup of coffee and look through what you brought.
Nice.
How do I clean my records? I've got this spray that I order on Amazon.
You mean you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner, Ian?
No. No, it comes with a little stand that I can put it on the stand, spray it, and clean it. And
I can't be bothered to do that anymore. I just get the little duster and just get the dust off it and play it.
And I've got this thing to do my stylus. It's not a brush; it's a little pad. And you just go.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You just gently put on it, and you pull it down, and all the fluff comes off it. Clever bit of thing. Yeah. So I've really played a lot of records since I had my deck back.
I bet.
Oh, it's just wonderful hearing it all again. Yeah. So, and the shelf's all right.
What do you mean the shelves are right?
That's the one that fell on it and broke it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. A British silence for you there, Michael.
I like it. It's so uncomfortable.
Get used to it.
Huh?
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to fill the space up with another topic. Oh.
If I told you it happens in pubs as well.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, even when when me and Nick go up to Leeds, we talk and then we have a silent bit and then we carry on talking.
Well, it's not fill in the blanks contest, is it?
No.
No.
Well, there's a question there for you from Richard.
Yes. Question from Michael. What was the first record you bought as a kid? It was probably the Beatles. I think it was 66. I think that's the one. It was Beatles 66. Had a date on it as part of the title. And I used all of my allowance to get that record. So
8 days a week.
Huh?
8 days a week.
Yeah, that was the one.
My first one was Fox on the Run by The Sweet.
Yeah. And then I jump-started my collection with records left behind by my brother and sister when they went to college. They just didn't bring their records with them. And they left behind a lot of great stuff that I just rummaged through. That was a great education for me. The Mothers, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Electric Flag, Tim Buckley, Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Yeah, so for me, when we had our first record player, it was basically playing mum and dad's old 45s.
Mm-hmm. And what did they listen to?
Oh, we had the Beatles, we had the Stones, we had Billy Fury, we had Adam
Because your
Page.
father was a musician, so they had sophisticated. They had modern taste. It wasn't Mel Torme and Rosemary Clooney and Lawrence Welk like others have suffered.
It's like the Eddie Cochran EP, you know.
What kind of band was your father in? What kind of a band was your father in? Huh?
He was in a band in Northampton. He was in a band at 16.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a book written about Northampton bands, and my dad's in it and my granddad, because he used to take them round in his works van. So yeah.
Did you guys ever get rid of your original vinyl when CDs came along?
No.
Getting rid of vinyl was typically as a result of moving and downsizing. That's when vinyl left my hands. Those moments.
I got rid of all my CDs when I downsized to where I am now. That's why.
But CDs were very special. I mean, when they first came out, very, very special. I mean, the hype was huge. Till later on, when you started to understand, like, the difference between digital and analog, and also, a little plastic jewel case is not as enticing to hold in your hand as a 12-inch record with textured paper and aging photos. So it's just it comes down to taste.
That's it. I mean, I got the you'd pick up the record, put it on, and you'd be sitting there going,
right. Right. This came out in 19.
That was willing to sort of let that go because of the convenience of the CD, wasn't it? Because it was smaller, it sounded, it didn't have the clicks and the pops, and it didn't take up the space like records do. And did they?
No.
It was convenience, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky that I've got it all my old CDs I've got on my iPods now, so it's not the same, but at least I've still got all them CDs I brought. And albums. I'm buying more albums now. So it's just finding space. But I've had a bit of a brainwave to where to store albums.
It really is absurd when you think about it, the amount of money that we all spend on, quality of the sound, and, getting away from surface noise, and, the different stylus tips, when in the end, you have certain people going, oh, the pops and clicks don't bother me. It's kind of like, patina. It's part of the effect. And then you have the CD crowd. It's just, it's just amazing the choices that people make in terms of what they bring into their home, what they choose to like, and what they choose to collect.
Yeah, it's like okay, let's take Come Today the Seekers. I had it on CD, yeah. All cleaned up, remastered. Put the album on for the first time this week in mono, and I think it sounds better.
What's a warmer sound, richer sound? It fills up the room for you. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. The difference. Yeah. The difference.
Yeah, CDs. There's a sharpness and crispness to the sound, isn't there? And it doesn't feel warm like vinyl does. I think that is part of the nostalgia, isn't it? That warm sound, for people like yourselves who were growing up in that environment, listening to that sound, it takes you right back to when you first started listening to music, which was vinyl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Richard's question: first proper concert you went to, not including local bands. This is an embarrassment. The first concert I went to, I was 8 years old, and it was Cilla Black.
Oh,
I went with
nice.
my mum. I don't think we could. There wasn't a babysitter available, so I got dragged along.
Mine was Judy Collins, Tanglewood, Massachusetts. I probably was like 11, maybe 12 or 13 years old. Chaperone group.
Yeah, and
She was
the place
great.
I saw them is in Coventry at I think was called the Hippodrome, and my dad played there in 1962,
Mm-hmm.
the day after Billy Fury.
Did your father write compositions or did he do cover songs?
They did cover songs, but my dad can write.
Mm-hmm.
He sort of makes his own CDs of his own now, of other covers. He's a one-man band. He uses MIDI a lot, but he's a one-man band these days.
Mm-hmm.
Still likes playing this game. And since he retired, he plays. He got his first Gretsch. He's only wanted a Gretsch half of his life, but there we go. But yeah, that was the first concert I went to. Then I went to see Sky in 80.
Mm-hmm.
But my first proper rock concert was Status Quo
Oh, very nice. Where was that?
at Leicester de Montfort Hall.
My first proper rock concert was Hot Tuna and New Riders of the Purple Sage at the Academy of Music in New York City.
Yes.
Can't say I've been
Very
to
American. Huh?
You've never been to one?
one. No.
Well, I could be going to see Iron Maiden on their 50th anniversary tour.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, up in Birmingham.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, my
And I
mate
did
Neil,
see-
he's a member of the Iron Maiden fan club, and he's got some tickets in the fan club area.
Richard's first was the Kinks in 1981.
Excellent.
Wow. And I did see Deep Purple, Ian, with Ian Gillan at the
I've
same
seen-
theater.
Wow.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't get to see Ian Gillan and Deep Purple until 1985 on the
Mhm.
reunion tour, and I saw them on their only show in the UK that year, and that was at Nebworth Park. And it blew me away.
Mhm. He still had the range.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did. He was brilliant. They didn't do Child in Time on that tour, though.
Huh. Maybe because of the high range, he might not.
Oh,
not...
no, they did it on the 87 tour, though.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. But to hear them open up with Highway Star was just something else. And
Yes.
they did a long version of Space Trucking, and it was just incredible. Incredible. One of the best concerts, because I saw some great bands that day. I saw Mountain, Leslie West. We saw Meatloaf, Scorpions, UFO, Meatloaf, and it threw it down with rain all day. But not a bad gig, was it, really?
No.
Oh,
And
and
this was at
Alaska.
Nebworth? This was
Nebworth.
Nebworth?
Yeah, Nebworth. Yeah. It's a funny old place. The sound's good, though, because it's in a dip. It's like a dip.
Mhm.
So if you stand at the right place, you can see what's going down. Although they were like that, but that didn't matter. That's where I saw Queen.
It's a sunken amphitheater, is what it is.
It's a natural
Okay.
sunken amphitheater.
Interesting. So many bands have been recorded and pressed from shows at Nebworth.
Yeah. Yeah. Genesis at Nebworth on the well, it would have been then there were 3 tour. Beach Boys have been recorded then. Led Zeppelin, Mike Oldfield, he's had a recording done at Nebworth. Oasis, of course. And Queen. Yeah, 120,000 people at Queen.
What's happening with the Oasis tickets though? Is that all sorted out, or are people just up in arms and they're still?
No, just continue, I imagine. People will still be up in arms. I think people will be even more upset when they hear them play live.
I think people are getting bored of it now, aren't they?
You think that they'll fight on stage and it'll all be like pre-planned and acted out for the audience?
I don't know that happened, but I don't think they're going to sound too good.
Mm-hmm.
To what people expect them to be, or think they'll be.
Yeah.
Have you heard they've announced who's supporting them? I think Richard Ashcroft's going to do support on some of the gigs.
Yeah.
They'll be probably better than Oasis.
Probably so.
Yeah, I won't pay. I dread to think how much I've got to pay for this Iron Maiden gig, but
Go back. I'm so sorry.
Sorry for the
Are you
question.
planning some sort of vinyl tag, Richard? Is this what this? Are we a testing ground for a vinyl tag? Let me see.
The
Who would I
Doors.
bring back? Let me see.
Mine's simple. The Doors. I'd have
Right.
loved to have seen the Doors, or Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at the peak of their career.
Tom Petty, maybe T-Rex.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
It's
the
all kind of
females-
morbid. I mean, what state would they be in? I mean, how would you explain all that? You bring them back from the dead.
Oh, and I'd love
How
to
would that
see
work?
AC/DC.
How would that work? How would they work in today's society if you brought them back?
I don't know.
Hypothetical, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just teasing, Richard.
Yeah, I'd have loved to have seen AC/DC, of course, with Bon Scott. Now, one of my friends, that was his first ever concert. He saw AC/DC about 3 months before Bon died.
Yeah.
He said
And then they die under all these horrible circumstances, you know, all that explaining to do, you know.
Well, he died in a car, didn't he?
He did, of an overdose, right? So many die of these overdoses.
Yeah. John Bonham, Janis Joplin,
Keith Moon.
Jimi Hendrix, could be.
Could be or could have been murdered.
There's so many deaths and accidents as well. You know, Buddy Holly, Eddie Cochran. You know, before.
That's right. That's right. In plane crashes.
Plane crashes, car crashes.
I mean,
T-Rex.
Lynyrd Skynyrd were literally wiped out, weren't they?
Yes. Or caught on fire at a concert. What was it? Great Whites, and I think it was in Rhode Island. Incinerated.
Or or murdered on stage playing a gig.
Where'd that happen?
Was it Dimebag of Pantera?
Huh.
He got shot on stage.
You know, these are dangerous jobs that these people have. You know, I mean, better to be a postman.
Yeah. Some obsessed fan.
Yes. Although I'm sure some letter carriers have been murdered by obsessed mail recipients.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's happened.
Yeah.
A lot of people died at the age of 27.
So many.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
But you know, we the thing is about these people who die at 27, their lives are frozen in time. You know, they can't do anything to ruin their career because their career is frozen, and the marketing just and the legacy just takes over. You know, as opposed to rock artists who live on and play until they really shouldn't, or go on stage until they really shouldn't.
Yeah, there's lots of them I can think of that I think that shouldn't be singing now.
Hello, Richard. Hello,
Yeah,
Richard.
right.
Did my response was it not satisfactory? Richard.
Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you.
I've got a problem on my end here.
You have
I
a
can't hear
problem?
you.
Oh, okay.
If you can hear me, no, it's not. It's just that I fell asleep in the first half of the stream, so I thought I'd try and inject a little bit of life, but I have got a problem. So
We can hear you.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you. So you're all chopped up with me. I've got a poor internet connection tonight again. So
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
I'll carry on asking questions.
Okay.
And
All right.
You go ahead. You ask the questions, we'll answer.
Yes.
okay.
But you can't hear us.
You got 5 minutes, Richard.
And then there were 3.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you think of that album?
Which? Oh, I don't care for it at all. Oh, horrible. There's only one good song on it. Horrible.
Well,
What's
Sorry.
your-
Sorry.
Well, that's all right. What's your favourite song on that album then?
Name them and I'll tell you which one real quick because I sold it.
Oh God, I've got a thing. So it's not my. There's The Lady Lies,
No.
Burning Rope.
No. Is it? Keep going. Keep going.
Oh
There's
God.
one good song on the record. It's a pure Genesis song. That's just like, back to the
Say
roots.
that. It won't be Say It's All Right, Joe. Ballad of Big.
No.
Deep in Motherlode.
No.
Shall I have a look?
Yes. But
Yeah.
it's going to be the next one. I know you're
Yeah,
going to say.
I think we've gone through. I've gone through most of them, and it's just
Yeah.
It's definitely not Follow You, Follow Me.
It is. That's the best song on the record.
Is it?
Yeah, best song on the record. See, there's where I think you and I have core differences on what we think are the best songs on the record that really give us goosebumps. Because the stuff that you were picking on the Todd that Todd for First 24, I was like,
Yeah.
no way.
The big question.
Like Courage on is the best song on Arena. Courage, because it's a pure Todd song. Just like Follow You, Follow Me is a pure Genesis song. The big question, McDonald's.
Okay.
Neither. It's all chemical. It's all chemically altered taste. Now, what about? Don't you guys have like Shake Shack or any of the more upscale? Huh.
Well,
What's
we
a
have
good
got.
Yeah.
We've got Tim Hortons over here now.
Tim Hortons.
The Canadian.
I don't know it.
No, we've got a place in Northampton that's called the Miss West. It's been there. Let me now. That opened when I was 13, and it's still going today. And they make their own burgers.
No, it's not any good at all, Richard.
No.
When I was in Florida, I went in a Denny's.
And
I went in Denny's. That's what I'll say
it's got a huge menu. It got a huge menu. Big value on the breakfast, if I remember properly, on the Denny's. That's where the value is. You get into more upscale stuff at Denny's, like a steak or fish. You're really kind of taking your chances because it's not gonna be a good value. I think breakfast is probably used to be the best value at Denny's.
Yeah, I've had breakfast in Denny's because when we went to Kennedy's Space Center, we had to get up early, and where we used to go wasn't open. We went to one of them we used to go to this cafeteria place, and it was really good. You know, it helped you. You know, pay something like $6, and you could feed up for the daylight. So we went in Denny's, and I had the best pancakes and maple syrup I'd ever had in America. They were freshly, you know, that you could, you know, they weren't just left in the hot plate. They come out,
Right.
They were fresh, fluffy, and the maple syrup was just something to die for.
I bet maple syrup is very expensive in the UK.
No,
No,
not really.
No? Okay.
I think my favourite burger place was the Gourmet Burger in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And there was hardly any waitresses, and you go, what's going on here? You sat down at the table, you were shown to there, and there was a computer, and you just put in your card number, you know, your card details, and you just and ordered.
What year was this? What year was this?
This would have been 2015.
Okay, so you were in the States that recently, huh?
Yeah, 2015 was the last time.
That was your last international trip?
No, that was my last trip to the States. My last international trip was before the summer before the pandemic, and that was when I was in Morocco.
Ooh. You're such an intrepid traveler.
Yes, we stayed in Marrakesh, but we went all over the place. Yeah, very nice. I loved Marrakesh, especially the square. That, you know, that famous square.
Mm-hmm.
You see it on telly all the time, don't you? And you walk around the corner from it. It was literally around the corner from the hotel, and you could smell the food. If you was on your balcony in the hotel, you could.
Yeah.
And on one night, I just said to my ex, "I'm not eating here tonight."
Because why?
I said, "I want to go and eat some proper food." Well, this is proper food. I went, "No, I want to go and eat street food."
Oh, you mean you don't want to eat hotel food?
Yeah, I wanted to go and eat street food.
Of course.
And we found them a wonderful place where lamb, obviously, it's abundant in Morocco, and I'd never tasted lamb like it. It's done on skewers, put in like a pit. And then I remember we went to this community bakery in the what they call the the market, the Snooks or the whatever it's called. And apparently there's a bakery. There's these bakeries that people just they make their bread at home and take them down to this place and sit there, have a tea, and take the bread home.
Their own bread from home.
Yeah, they bring their all made up. They just put it in this oven.
BYOB, bring your own bread.
Yeah.
Hey, Dusty.
You all right, Dusty?
Hi, Dusty. Yeah.
What is going to be your next international trip, Ian?
I don't know. At the moment,
yeah,
I think I've said this before. I'm not likely to go anywhere.
Okay. Yeah. I understand. So you'll just save. You just salt it away. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'll have to. I can wait. It's.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I know it's selfish, but
rocky.
But yeah. I mean, I've still got places I haven't been that I want to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Japan is on my list.
Yep.
I've been to Sri Lanka, but I want to go to mainland India. And I want to go to Vietnam.
Yeah. Vietnam's really great right now.
Yeah. And I want to go back to the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to the Dominican Republic and I've been to Cuba. But I want to go to Jamaica, but not the usual. I don't like going to where every Tom, Dick, and Harry and the tourists go. I like to go somewhere a bit offbeat, but still safe. I want to go to Jamaica. obviously for the music. And I want to come back to the state. I want to go back to the States.
Where in the States?
I want to go to Nashville.
Uh-huh.
And I want to go to New Orleans. I was going to go to New Orleans, but there was a certain thing called Katrina.
Yeah. So you're okay in hot, muggy weather, huh? Doesn't bother you.
I mean, I've been up in the hills of Candy.
Richard's asked, Michael, have you ever had?
Yes. Fugu. So fugu is blowfish, and it's a poisonous fish, but it has to be cut by a trained chef or cook in order to eliminate the poison in the flesh of the fish. So if you're trained to do it, it's delicious
You
fish.
have to have a license, don't you, to
Get the license. Yeah. And it can be really expensive.
Yeah, I've had it in London.
It's okay. I mean, I don't remember it being like the most special fish in the world.
No.
You know?
That was my impression of it. I had it on it was part of went to a proper Japanese sushi restaurant.
Yeah.
And I had to try it. I mean, I think the one little portion on the rice cost me 15 quid. But I thought, when in Rome, it was the Romans. And when I found it, my mate said, "What do you think of it?" I says, "It's all right." I said, "It's not worth." I said, "It's not like eating Wagyu beef, where there is a difference."
There is a big difference.
There's a huge.
It's very fatty. It's very fatty. It's marbled fat in the Wagyu beef. Yeah.
I mean, I've had that, and that was. But I says, you can stick your blowfish.
Yeah, well, somebody probably died, right? Somebody poisoned in that episode.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of these people. When I go abroad, I don't go looking for British food.
I would think that'd be a silly thing to do.
Yeah, if I want that, I'll get a bobby. You know, that's what I usually say. But I mean, I remember when I was in Sri Lanka, and this woman started arguing with the manageress of the restaurant. She wanted some decent food. She said, "You don't serve."
Oh, she was a Brit. She was a Brit.
Yeah. Yeah, she said, "You don't accommodate for British people."
Oh, Jesus.
And she said to me, "What do you think about it?" I went, "Look,
you're a nothing burger."
I said,
"Shut up."
I went, "You're in Sri Lanka. If you want roast beef and Yorkshire pudding, you should have stayed at home."
Yeah.
Because you ain't getting it here.
What'd she say?
"Oh, you're being rude." I said, "No, I'm just telling you the facts, man." I come on as part of the experience. You stay away from your normal food and you eat the local food.
Right.
And I mean, it was lovely food. I mean, the best food I had out there was breakfast samosas done in this little shack on the side of the road.
Mm.
When we went to, this is when I was on our way to Candy, we had a driver in a car, not on a bus tour. He had your own personal driver. And we had the hotel did these breakfast bags. He said, "What you got in there?" And he went, "Yeah." He says, "We'll go to my auntie's place." Well, okay. And turned at this little shack, and there was a huge queue going, you know. We went round the back, and there was his cousin sitting there with tin plates making all these samosas. And I tell you what, they were beautiful.
Mm.
And we paid when you worked out how much it cost us, it was equivalent. We had 3 big ones each, and it cost the equivalent of about £3.
It's all right.
Oh, I've never tasted samosas like it. And all it was potatoes and peas.
Oh, I want to show you something.
Just potatoes, onion, and peas.
It's quite simple, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful. Oh,
This is big in Japan.
Yeah.
This is big in Japan.
Really?
Frank,
Get it?
Yeah. But it's the only British beer. This is sold in supermarkets. This is the only British beer that Japanese have
It's not a beer, is it?
normalized. You know,
it's a stout.
it's a stout. Yeah, it's got Japanese. You know,
So you don't know where it's brewed then?
I assume it's brewed here. They probably got the license to brew it here. I'd have to read. I'd have to translate the. I'll find out. I assume it's here, but I'll find out. They probably got the license, you know, and the Guinness people came in and inspected and blessed all the processes, so they've recreated it for here. Like, I can't imagine being imported.
Yeah, the best Guinness is in Ireland.
It's not really not that good.
It is in Ireland. I mean, I've got an empty glass now. When you take a sip of Guinness in Ireland, every time you take a sip, it leaves a little mark down the side of you.
It's bitter.
It's bitter, but it's creamier. It's much better.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're at that 2-hour mark now, so
Yes.
I'll shut it down. So,
Okay.
See you next week then, folks.
Thank
Bye.
you.
And don't forget to vote in Battle Royale.
Yeah,
That's right.
get your votes in. Yeah.
Get your votes in. The link's in my community and it's on the video.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
See you.
Bye.
See you later.